Hi, I'm Doda. Welcome to A Moment in Time. A moment that I hope, wish, and intend to be a shared moment with the energies of love, compassion, and kindness. Today's reading will be focusing on your unused potentials and what limiting beliefs you might have that could stop you from utilizing this potential. With these words, let's get started. So, the first card I am drawing is just the general energies for the reading. So, that may be energies that I keep coming back to, or it may just be one that sets the modes from the rest of the card. So, let's have a look. And here we go. Let's see, can you see that okay? Beautiful card. I'm just going to put it here. Um, so, I'm obviously getting a lot of happiness from this card, which is it's also about happy life, right? And she's really happy. I think that's really coming through in the card. But I'm getting more than that. So obviously you have a potential of living I hear fulfilled life. So maybe that's what happiness is for you, where you are balanced in yourself, right? It's an inner balance. And obviously, 26, the number up here is what I'm drawn to. Two for me is about balance and harmony, and so is six. And two is also to me about trusting the universe or trusting something higher, whatever that is for you. That could just be your higher self, your soul, whatever that is, divine, whatever. And then six is that's more about nurturing some kind of relations. That can be relationships, but that could also be nurturing relations with yourself, right? That inner balance and harmony that's coming through in this card is really strong. Obviously, she's standing on this little egg down here. And to me, that quite often, and that's also the energies I'm getting in now, is our potentials that haven't haven't unhatched yet. So we obviously may feel them, right? She's standing on it, so the energy's coming up. So there would be some kind of recognizing of it within. And this one have a keyhole on, and I don't see the key, but the energy I'm feeling and sensing from the card is that she's holding it in her hand. That's what I'm getting from from the card. So what that tells me is that you are on the brink of being able to unlock this, or anyway part of your potentials, right? Really, really nice energy coming from it. So it's about love, because I'm really focusing in on that little hummingbird here. It's right here, right? And hummingbirds to me is about unconditional love, right? And birds, that to me is communicating. So to me, it's about communicating your truth. It's speaking up. It is, but with always coming from love and kindness, right? Love is very much the hummingbird. Um, and then you have these balloons here, and obviously they can fly away, and it's really weird feeling I'm getting with those, because in a sense I usually see it as something positive, but and it is, but what I'm getting with it is like it's letting go. Let go of the balloons. Let go of all these bubbles that you have created. That's just air, illusions. So that could be your limited beliefs, right? So in order to stand in your own skin, so to speak, speaking your truth, being happy, trusting. Obviously, in order to trust completely, you have to trust yourself completely. It always starts from within. So that is the energy that's coming out in the reading now. And obviously, I think that's really beautiful because that's what the reading is about as well. But yeah, I'm getting that you have, and I feel this is your unlimited beliefs, or the limits that you set of yourself, the negative thoughts, the doubts, the fears, and so on, that you need to let go of. And she's holding quite, she actually tied it around her wrist, so it's not something that you may feel you are completely ready to let go of yet. But in order to really live this life, this potential of just being you, and thereby creating a lot of healing in the world, right? Because people that really dare to stand out, which she does, she's happy and joyful and just really loving herself, right? That becomes a light to others, right? So and that's healing in that. There's a lot of healing in that. So your true potential is really to heal others, but just by being the truthful version of yourself. That's your potential. Being happy, joyful, resting in yourself, being peaceful, in harmony, in balance, and speaking from your heart. Always speaking from your heart, always being truthful, and always being trusting in yourself, trusting in your own abilities. So very beautiful energy that kind of sets the whole reading here. So let's have a look. What is then your potential that's coming out? I mean, we've already been into, speaking about it, but that's obviously the general concept of it. Let's see if we can get more deeper down. So the potential, what is the potential in this case? What is the potential that you're about to unlock once you let go of these limiting beliefs? I'm feeling as I shuffle the cards here, I'm feeling kind of like irritation in my throat, right? So for that reason, there must be something about speaking your truth, speaking up, that you may not always do in certain situations, because the energies I'm getting from you as a person is someone that is very kind and loving and helpful and want to be there for others. I get that sort of nurturing energy, but I don't get necessarily that you are one that always speak when you want to. When you, even if you feel it's coming from deep within you, from the heart, I feel like it's being stopped in my throat sometimes. Interesting card for your potential. So Seven of Swords. Usually, I mean, in other decks, that would be my Thief card. My I would actually see this as a negative card, and also, but yeah, I'm just having to tune into it. This is about being strategic. This is about not showing your cards. This is not manipulation, which I usually read it as. That's not the energy I'm getting at all. But it's about it's funny. I hear walking away from what's not serving you, and I do see that she's kind of leaving these swords behind, right? But it's not about making a big drama out of it. She's just walking. She's and I see the moon up here, so she's trusting the unknown, right? She's walking to the unknown, and obviously swords. That can be, swords is our way of communicating. It's our own thought patterns, and she's leaving these swords behind, right? And they're not balloons here, but that's the same energy I'm getting. That she's trusting. She's moving towards something else, and she's trusting the unknown, because the unknown is obviously, the moon is about only showing a short light on the path. So she's trusting whatever she can see a glimpse of, whatever she feels a glimpse of within. And she's leaving all these thoughts, all these negative thoughts behind. So your potential is to let go of what is limiting you, which is really neat and interesting. But she's doing it with no drama. It looks like she is saying goodbye to it, but she's just walking toward the moon, toward the unknown. And in the unknown, obviously, is you have to trust, right? So for this Seven of Swords, I really feel strongly that the potential that's coming out is your trust. The trust in you, the trust in the universe, divine, whatever is higher purpose for you. And it's about intuition. So it's about trusting your intuition. That's so deep in you. I feel like you are intuitive, but I also feel like you are often doubting and not questioning. So what I'm hearing, questioning whether it's right or wrong. So that could be when it comes to yourself more than maybe it comes to other people. But so the hidden potential that's coming out is trust in your own intuition, because we don't need the swords can also be control, right? You like to have control in life, would not like to know what's going on. So she's trusting in the unknown, she's trusting in her intuition, she's trusting that her intuition will guide her in the direction she needs to go. So she's letting go of control. So maybe some of your unlimited belief, and we'll see that when we move on, but some of that could very much be that you want to be in control, right? You like to know what's going on, you like to know your next step, and your true potential is actually almost the opposite, in a sense that you actually are in control when you follow your intuition. I feel like I'm making lists, and you can hear my throat is really funny. I feel like I'm making lists. I feel like I have to be, I want to say, part of the decision making, and that doesn't have to be in a job position. That can be at home. That can be. It's like you want to cross everything, the to-do list, or I feel like it's more than to-do list, but being in control. And in reality, nobody's in control unless we follow our intuition, unless we trust. That's where our inner control take over. That's where we're leading in the right direction, so that we don't need to do the control in the outside environment. It's a really interesting card. I'm getting overthinking with these swords as well. So maybe you are an overthinker and you're letting go of that. Obviously, that's a huge potential then, because that's also limitations, right? That's stopping you from doing something. But the potential is trust in yourself, trust in your intuition. And you can't really say what comes first, because they're really intertwined. And trust in the unknown, going with the flow, knowing with certainties, because you just know it internally, because you trust your intuition, what to do, what direction to go in. And you may not always know the reason why you are feeling what you're feeling intuitively, but acting on it is definitely a key here. So very beautiful card. So let's go on and see what is your limit, or what kind of limited beliefs could it be that stops you? I mean, there's already been something coming through in the cards and even over here, right? That there was some limiting beliefs that you need to let go of. And I'm feeling it's not going to be that easy because she tied it around her wrist, right? If she just had it in her hands, you could just let go, simple. But here she actually have to do something actively to untie the string. Here, once you've done that, you can just walk. It's almost like it's a decision, but it's a decision like really deep within you, right? And nobody else have influence on that. It's only you. It's your decision. It's your action. It's your move. It's you that needs to do this. All right. Limiting beliefs. So what could be a possible limiting beliefs that you that are stopping you, except from what we have maybe already talked about, or highlighting that more if that's needed. So let's see what the card is saying. But yeah, I'm definitely getting a lot of that control and overthinking. Overthinking is about control too, right? It's also about being perfectionist. And obviously there's nothing wrong with having standards, but there is a negative inclination to overthinking, right? Because it's also a way of procrastinating. So very interesting. Ace of Pentacles I'm getting for a limiting beliefs, and obviously normally that would be positive cards as well. So it's almost like they're turning things around a little bit, which is really interesting, and I have to feel into that. So Ace of Pentacles, that's about a new beginning, a new start, and it's also about, you know, for me, aces always come with some sort of stepping out from your comfort zone. So it demands something from us, right? And if you don't do that, you can't move on. So for me, this Ace of Cards, where it's usually new beginnings, it's almost the opposite of that. It's like, you know, not taking the step because, and then giving yourself a lot of reasons why, right? It's almost talking yourself out of getting out of your comfort zone. And obviously, if you come back to this card, the comfort zone would be something about control, overthinking. So you're stopping yourself from your new beginning because of your unlimited. I wanna draw some more cards on that one, just to some helping cards to get more information out of that. Because I see the star and I see what I perceive as sunlight behind it, right? So a lot of positive potentials back there. And the star is obviously something you wish for. That could be fame, but it can also just be a wish. But I feel like I'm not walking through it. I feel like I'm walking to it and stop. That's the energy I'm getting. I'm not being drawn into the card. I'm kind of being stuck right in front of it. And that could be the illusions of your balloons over here as well. That what you really want, what you dream of, may become illusion. Our dreams can become reality, or it can become illusion depending on the actions that we take on them, right? So that's what I'm feeling here, that you have, you know, again, the potential of the sunshine, right? Of the happiness, of the joy, of the love, of everything that you wish for. But I'm being stopped because of the mistrust that I might have within. And I'm obviously, if there's people around you that you mistrust, that you don't trust, then it's easy to see that you have some kind of trust issues, because whoever we surround ourselves with is obviously a reflection of ourselves. So if you are around people that you completely trust, then it's a little bit harder to accept maybe, or see that there may be some trust issue toward ourselves. So this reading is always about ourselves, right? It's always the inner world because that's being reflected to the outer world in whatever way that is happening in our lives. But I feel the trust. So it's almost like this trust that you're showing here in the unknown you don't have, that's stopping you. And those are all the thoughts here that you need to let go of, right? So this card is really just highlighting to me the huge potential that you could have. And it's this, right? It's a joy, it's a happiness, it's a being, harmony with yourself, trusting yourself, speaking your mind. Oh, actually speaking your heart is what I'm being corrected to. I'm completely being stopped here. So let's look into that a little bit more, because obviously they're connected. So control and negative thoughts even about yourself. Because obviously there's a fear here, right? There's a doubt about moving into whatever is behind that. Even though you can see the shine of it, you might almost talk yourself out of it, is what I'm feeling. You see the light, you see the shine, but could it be something else, right? Could it be something else than what you want? And it's not. Okay, interesting. So I got a card here. Wow. I mean, that's a star. Look at that. She's holding on to her wishes. So it's obviously a wish. And with a star being in major arcana, it must be a wish that you've had for a long time. It's not something that just arrived. It's not a fling. It's something that's kind of been there for a very long time. So maybe you haven't felt this harmony within for a long time. Maybe you haven't felt that you're speaking up, speaking your truth, being truthful, being trusting of yourself for a long time. Maybe you are feeling your intuition, right? But you're not, and you're holding on to that what you have. But see this wishful thinking here. She wished she had that star, right? She really, really wished she had that star. But it's up in the sky. But in reality, it's just here. It's just stepping through it. Really interesting energies I'm getting here. So it's holding on to illusion for now, right? Until you step through, until you dare to let go of the overthinking, let go of the negative thoughts. So what is the negative thoughts that you're having? You need to examine that. You need to ask yourself, what are they doing for you? Why are you holding on to those negative thoughts? In what way have they helped you in the past? And why are they not helping you anymore? Those sort of questions, ask yourself them. Because she's really wishing for that star. Like with all her heart, with all her intent. She's just really want to draw that star in. And all you have to do is like pull that string, right? And let go of the other. Very interesting. It's really in a sense, I actually get a really, really beautiful energy from it, because it's a choice. You can have this as a dream if that's what you want, right? Then your dream is just an illusion, it's just a dream. Or you can pull it in. You can walk through that portal. You can let go of all these thoughts, the control that you really want, but in reality, nobody have, unless they allow themselves to flow with their intuition, go with the wind, so to speak. Very interesting. But I hope you can really see that hope she's having, how much you really want that star. And it's so much intent. I mean, so much strong energy in that intent. wish to get that star. So what that is telling me, you really want this. You really want this happy, and I want to say easygoing life. Now, we are human beings, so obviously we will always have ups and downs. But when we rest in ourselves, when we feel harmony in ourselves, when we feel self-love, even the bigger obstacles are going to be easier to face, right? There's a lot of things in life that's not easy to face no matter what, but it are going to be easier to face once we let go of what is. These are doubts, these are fears, these are pains. Like I just saw in my inner mind, I saw when I touched one of the swords, I saw the three of swords, right? So that's like really, really heartfelt, deep pain that we have with us from the past. And you might have that too. It could be from relationships. It can be for so many things. And maybe, you know what? It's funny because as I touch it again and feeling into that three of hearts, it's almost like that's what really was a turning point in a sense, because I feel like it's rolling over, but where you really started needing to be in control. Maybe you didn't want to feel that pain again ever, or something like that. That's energies, and obviously it will not be resonating with everyone, but that was what I'm getting from that. So each of these seven swords represents something within you. And I get sadness. I get a deep, 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 deep sadness. Obviously, that could be still be the three of swords lingering in my energy and in energy that I'm receiving. But it's almost like I'm missing me. And she's not, right? She's herself. So maybe that's what your wish is. Maybe you're missing yourself. And you don't know how to get back there. Because life has taught you that maybe you can't trust completely anyway. And that's required to come back to this joyful, happy, life of harmony and trust and balance and yeah. And the funny thing, they said, look at her head. So you're actually looking away from the balloons, right? The limitations. So there may even be some limitations that you're not aware of that you have. Or that you're not thinking that it is limiting in regards to this star, this wish, this being you. It's funny, I really do get a really strong, so for some of you that will be it. I just want to come back to me, be me, express myself from my center, from my heart, from my, very interesting. So let's go on. So how can we overcome? Can we get past, right? I already mentioned about asking yourself questions. That is a very good way to work. That can be journal, obviously, but don't accept the first answers you're getting. So keep asking you, maybe having it over time, the same questions, and then you dig deeper and deeper. So let's see, how can we overcome this limitation? How can we walk away from them, right? Which is really bringing out that potential within you, because that's her first step, right? To open up. That's a key. That's walking away from that. That's letting go. So let's see, how can you overcome this limitation? How can you let go? Interesting. Oh, I'm going to show it to you first. So that's a hermit. And it's not necessarily that you have to withdraw from the world, which a hermit obviously do, right? And the stars here, see? The star's coming down now. It's coming down. Okay, that just took me a little bit by surprise there. I felt that really, really, really strong, and it's almost like it's coming through and hitting this lantern here, right? And you can see all these stars coming out, and the flower blossoming. Flowers for me is also about love, and it's opening up, right? So that inner sense of love, self-love, is opening up. So what this card is telling me is that in order to overcome your limiting beliefs, to let go of what you need to actually come back to who you are, or to the happiness or joyful, and speaking up and speaking from your heart, and all these things that is part of, but all of it coming back to trusting yourself, trusting in higher power, is to go within, work within, be within. I even hear shut out the noise, the outside noise. Meditations, journaling, as I said, is coming out. And sorry about that, my throat is still doing weird things. And speaking to yourself. That's why my throat was. I'm feeling that very strongly. There's something else about that throat because that keeps bothering me, and I don't have anything with my throat today. I also see this little bird down here, and that's about communication, right? But it's tiny. Anyway, it's about communication, how you communicate to yourself. Really go within. I mean, really be within. It's a really nice energy. I mean, I'm getting really calm, really, really relaxed. So it can be nature as well, with the flowers and trees. It doesn't have to be sitting in some meditating position, and it can be going out in nature. It can be walking the dog. It can be many ways, but really get within. And obviously, what I find works for me is doing these things, but it's very much that journal. It's very much about asking the right questions, and in a way that you keep diving in them, but also in a way that you try to change your focus, right? Because this is inner work, working with your inner. That's what changing the take away the doubt, the fears, the pain, the need for control. Here there's no need to control, right? He's just in harmony, in peace. The energy I'm getting from this card is that he's drawing in divine energy. Again, connected with intuition, with a higher knowing, with a trust in himself, and that in this card comes out as a hermit. So enjoying being in your own company. And then this lantern here, right? Once it hits you like this, and you become who you are, that's gonna be, then you're gonna be a light for others, right? Because now you can kind of light the light for others to see, and whoever would like the same as you, whoever wants to find that inner glow, that oneness, that wish that they so long for, right? That would be what ignite that light within them to go on the journey. And that's really, really beautiful, I have to say. That's really beautiful. But it'll take a lot of inner work here with the hermit. You don't have to go out in a cave and sit there by yourself. That's not what this is about. But it is really about, leaving all the outer noise and even inner noise. And I actually hear there's more emphasis on that. Your own inner noise, your own negative thoughts, leaving them out of it, right? And focus on your heart. feel, he has his eyes closed, but I really feel the energy is coming from the heart, which is really interesting. So be in your heart. He is. And to be in your heart more and more and more and more, more than you are now. This is needed. It's needed to take time out for yourself. But it's not about hiding from the world. The hermit is usually about completely going away, right? Finding himself, finding herself. But it's not about you hiding from the world. I don't get that energy from this card at all. It's just being with yourself in moments that matters to you, and really reflecting on things. Why do I do this? What was the benefit of it? And is it really the benefit now that I have changed? Because you have changed. You wouldn't get this reading unless you haven't changed, unless you weren't ready, even though you tied that knot really well around your waist there. But this wish, right? So it's about making that decision. Do I want to spend time with myself? Do I want to reflect inward? Do I want to take the time that it takes to figure out what all these thoughts are for me? Do I dare to trust myself so that I can walk through this and get this happy feeling of being me, finding yourself in reality, that is. So this card it comes, that's the energy coming out as the truthful energy of you, right? The happy, joyful woman, man, balanced, confidence, and someone that speaks from love, right? From kindness, from truth, from honesty. Just completely in harmony with herself and people around her. I feel like there's a circle of people around her. That's really funny, but that's the energy I'm getting. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to leave the reading here. I obviously hope that it resonated with you. I hope that you see your true potential. And this card is really highlighting that. I hope that it reminded you of who you really are and what it is that you really are missing about yourself. And I hope that it gave you some sort of way to work with releasing these limiting beliefs that you have or may have. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciated it. I really enjoyed this moment that we shared together at this time. And with this, I'm just gonna thank you for today and hope to see you next week for the next video. Bye for now.